Good morning, Fundraising Family. It is March 2nd. I made this video on Friday, and for some reason, it still says waiting for me to show up. I think it's still in premiere mode. Whatever, I'm redoing the video. This is a little different setup for me. This is a YouTube Live. Today, we're talking about COVID-19, coronavirus, and nonprofits. What will be the effect and things that I think you should start thinking about with your executive committee, with your leadership of your organization, and of course, with your board. So let's jump right into the big general overall wide spreading effects. So the first thing that happened on Friday is the stock market just went bananas. And when the stock market is really variable, it's up and down, we find that donations are also equally as variable. And this is something that I want your organization to be thinking about, because for many of our organizations, we're going into the end of our fiscal year. For many organizations, we end our fiscal year in the end of June. And this is really ramp up time for us. And having a mini recession possibly on the way, having these variable things happening in the stock market is not great for fundraising. A lot of people don't give as much or as at all when the stock market is going crazy. The other thing that I really want to talk about today is spring fundraising season is here. This past weekend was the first really big weekend. We had events Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and now March, April, and May. Those are the three biggest months of fundraising events, at least here in the United States. And we have events almost every single day. Organizations are set to raise hundreds of millions of dollars over the next 3 months. And COVID-19, this coronavirus, is here. And the real big question is, how will it affect our fundraising events? And I think I have some ideas and at least give you some things to think about. So let's talk about events. If you don't know who I am, my name is Abra. I'm a fundraising auctioneer. I have a YouTube channel. This is maybe my first YouTube live, but not my first YouTube video. So tons of other fundraising videos. Fundraising season is going to be interesting this year. We're already seeing it in France. France is limiting groups organizing over 5,000 people or 5,000 people or more. They are saying, please do not congregate in groups of 5,000 or more. Now, I don't have any clients that have events that are 5,000 people, but I do have events coming up this spring that have 800, 900, 1,000 people. And it does cross my mind, will the local governments cancel these events? Will they say you're not allowed to hold events larger than 100 people? So that is something that is really big on my mind. And I want you as an organization to start thinking about that. What will happen if indeed your local government does impose those types of restrictions? Additionally, will your guests at this event, will your donors, will your sponsors, will they even want to come? This weekend, I thought about going to Costco, and part of me was like, why would I go expose myself to all those people? And I wonder if part of your donor base will be thinking the same thing. So I think you should prepare for many of your attendees to cancel and or no show. I think that is definitely in our future for this fundraising season. And lastly, will people even want to attend events? Are people going to be just staying at home and staying close to their family? I don't know, but I think it's something that we definitely need to be thinking about and discussing. If this does happen, what will we do? Because local governments might restrict group meetings of more than 100 people, because your audience might not want to attend, I think we should seriously think about, and because of the volatility, what is it? Because of the ups and downs of the stock market, I think you should seriously consider having a conversation with your executive team and your board. You might not hit your fundraising goals this year. In fact, I am almost sure all of my clients will not hit their fundraising goals this year. And I wish that wasn't true, but I think it's going to be true because of the stock market. I mean, I took a huge hit personally, and it's going to affect the way I donate this year. And if I wasn't going to be working at a ton of events, I don't know if I would be going to as many events as I have scheduled for the spring. Same with my team. Let's talk about your hotel. Hotels we've seen it in Europe, we've seen it in the Middle East, we've seen it in Tenerife, we've seen entire hotels become quarantined because of a couple people who have been diagnosed with the coronavirus. If your hotel that you're holding your event does get quarantined, you're not going to be able to hold your event. So this is leading me to have this discussion with many of my clients, and of course, giving this advice to you. I'd like you to start having conversations now with your hotel, with your caterer, with your AV, with your florist. Look into your deposits. How much notice will you need to give them to get your money back? It's going to be very different for every organization and every fundraising event, but better you know now. I would create a spreadsheet and say, caterer, we have $5,000 deposit. We can get it back with 3 weeks of warning. I would monitor what's going on in your area, in your town, in your county, and see what's going on. And I would be prepared to make the call earlier than you would have in the past. So I would make those decisions sooner than later so you can recoup some of that money. Additionally, have a conversation, a real conversation with your venue. Are they okay with 300 or 400 people coming in and leaving? What is the sanitary conditions going to be? Are they going to do a deep clean before your event, which just was after a different event? These are conversations we've never had before and never would have thought twice about. But right now with this COVID-19, with this outbreak and the kind of, I don't want to say panic, but I would definitely say there's some serious fear and worry in this country. These are the kind of questions that you should be having with your venue. And more importantly, when you find out these answers, communicate with your guests. Tell them, we are monitoring the situation. We're excited for our event. We might have to cancel it. We're not sure. We hope you come, but it's going to be great. The venue's going to do a deep clean. Let them know what is going on. The worst thing we can do with our guests, with our donors, is not communicate what we're doing. Let's be very clear and very transparent. So let's say you do decide to have an event in the midst of this COVID-19 unknown period of time. You should think about having a ton of hand sanitizer and having people at the doors just pumping it into people's hands when they walk in. I don't know if that hand sanitizer does anything, but let me tell you, it sure makes people feel better. They do it on the cruise ships, and it definitely makes me feel like, oh, hey, everyone at least has clean hands going in. Who knows what happens after, but at least they have clean hands going in. Encourage people to wear masks if that makes them feel better. Even better, have them decorate the masks. If your community thinks it's important, you could even buy masks for all your serving staff or all your valet and have all your servers wearing masks. If you really want to make it seem as safe as possible, go ahead and do all these things. But most importantly, communicate. If you say it's okay to wear a mask, let people know. If you tell people, hey, every single waiter in our event is going to have a mask, let people know. The big word here, the big message is communication. Now, let's talk about the other end of the spectrum. Let's say something does happen and you do have to cancel your event. What I'd like you to do is do exactly what I'm doing now. Don't stop talking about your organization. Come on to YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Instagram Live, whatever you want to do on the night of your event, pop on and start talking. Have your development director talk. You can have your executive director talk. You can have your president of the board. You can even have your beneficiary. People are going to be at home looking for something to do. Communicate with your donors, show them your video, talk about all the amazing work that you were going to do with their money. You can still solicit for donations. You can put up a link. You can use Facebook fundraising. There's so many other things that you can do. But if you have to cancel your event, I would not stop sharing your message. I would get on Facebook Live and YouTube Live and communicate something interesting, passionate, awesome about your organization every single day. If you want to see a great example of this, they don't do it every single day. They do it like once a week, the executive director pops on Facebook Live. There's an organization in Sonoma County named Reach for Home. You can just search them in Facebook and you can see all the videos she makes. Her name's Colleen. They are not long, but they are interesting. They keep me connected to the organization. She shares information. She just does a really awesome job, and it might give you a starting off point and some inspiration to do your own. Most importantly, right now, before things get really crazy, and let's hope they don't, but everyone says this thing is coming, make a plan. Sit down with your executive committee, sit down with your board, and have a plan, not only for your fundraising, but for your fundraising event. What are you going to do? Have a plan. This is when we're going to cancel. This is how we're going to communicate it. And even deeper than your event plan, think about the people that you serve. If your team, if your staff are going to be staying at home, your office is going to be closed, you're going to need some virtual meeting software. There's free ones like FaceTime and Google Hangouts, and there's also pay ones like Blue Jeans and GoToMeeting and Zoom, where you can meet with a lot of people together. If you know me at all, you know that I'm a huge fan of virtual meetings. Have virtual meetings, get yourself some software, and be productive. Just be productive from home. It's not as big of a deal as you think. Virtual meetings now are so simple and easy. My personal favorite is Zoom. This is not sponsored by Zoom. I don't get paid by Zoom. It's just so easy and simple to use. And a lot of my nonprofit clients do use it. I also would make a plan for how you are going to take care of the people that your organization serves, of your beneficiaries, whether it's elderly, whether it's homeless, whether it's dogs, cats, horses, kids, whatever it is. You need to have a plan. Maybe you should go buy some extra hay for your horses and some extra dog food. Maybe you need to think about how are we going to provide services if there is an outbreak. One of my clients, Meals on Wheels, I wonder, how are they going to deliver 500 meals if the local government puts us all on house quarantine? How's that going to happen? How are they going to cook 500 meals? How are they going to check on those seniors? And more importantly than giving them, and along with the importance of giving them food, oftentimes the delivery is like a well check. So there's a lot of other things that we're going to need to think about. And maybe that is hopping on FaceTime with all of your clients. I don't know, I'm making this up here, but you need to have a plan and don't wait. Plan now while things are calm and you can just be rational. Plan now and execute later. I hope this video was helpful and useful, and let's hope that you can watch it later because it didn't work last time. So let's just hope and pray that it does. If you are new to the channel, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. I try to help nonprofit organizations raise as much money as possible so that they can do the great work that they do. Make a plan, be smart, and communicate with your donors. Thanks so much for watching, guys.